Now that's a reality, and the great thing is the Australian Greens today are going to be making those arguments over the next week or so to say it's the reality, to say that Australian soldiers, along with American soldiers, soldiers in the Netherlands and the US, are killing ordinary people in their thousands, and that this occupation must end. We find the whole argument every week is about how this war has turned around, how the war is now absolutely winnable. But really, once you put the politicians on the spot, the argument seems to fall apart. I heard Smith this morning, the Defence Minister, talking on the radio, and he was talking about something, a victory was no longer possible in conventional terms. You find Greg Sheridan, who's an absolute hawk. He loves talking about going to places and bombing them. He believes now that the war is not possible to win. No one in the leading sort of group in the United States believes the war is there to be won. The troops remain in order to save face for people, you know, in the British government and also in Washington. And the tragic thing is that soldiers, mostly from working class and poor backgrounds from the US and from Australia, are going to this country and dying for no good reason other than the expansion of US power. And there are military families who have said, we are not going to shed any more blood for that kind of obscene project. It's time that the occupation ends. And that's coming from military families. There was a very courageous soldier in Britain called Joe Glenton.
A person who has served in the Senate representing Queensland for over 10 years for the Democrats. I stood at the last election for the Green Party. But I was there in the Senate when the Howard government